Hi guys, Virginia here and I'm back with another 12x12 process video for you today using the April Kitaholic Kits. And I came across this word in the Pink Fresh Studio ephemera pack that said oops. And I remembered these photos that I had of Addie. She had been hanging out with her father over at the milking shed on the farm and had managed to get herself into the tail paint, which is basically just like a big can of fluorescent spray paint, and she sprayed it on her face. Yeah, that's kind of what I'm focusing on today, her little oopsie. And I decided to create a cut file as well. So I did a large O, and then I did a couple of smaller O's. For some reason I thought there were 3 O's in it. There wasn't, but it was fortunate that the third one was easily removable. So what I'm doing now is just kind of working out how I'm going to do this design. So I've chosen this really vivid, it's like a mustardy yellow painted stripe background that's from the Pink Fresh Studio papers, and I've pulled up my ephemera piece because I want to reiterate the word oops on the page, just to emphasize that. And I'm thinking I probably want to back my photos on some pattern paper. So I chose this green scalloped pattern paper just to add a bit of colour onto the page, and I've just cut that into a square. Now this layout takes a few turns. It takes me 3 goes to get all the embellishing right before I actually stick things down. So I don't make you watch all of me placing and moving ephemera because I spent a lot of time doing it, but we'll get to the start of it. So this is one of the 12x12 papers, and it's got 2x2 inch squares. So I'm going to fussy cut 3 things out of there. I've got do your own thing. The other one is a house that says a little chaos and a lot of love. I liked that. Or 4 things, sorry. And this one here I'm cutting out is a little banner, and it says, well, at least it was interesting. And then there was a circular piece that says documenting the messy stuff, and it's got a pencil and a whole lot of scribbles. So that was perfect for this. And now I'm just going to kind of flick through the other embellishments and see what else I like. So these are a couple of the chipboard pieces. The one with the house I don't end up using, and with the black square one I don't end up using, even though I thought it was kind of perfect. This orange piece here that I'm cutting off is from one of the cut apart sheets, and I like the idea of it, but it doesn't end up making it to the page either. So what I did, I pulled out a ton of embellishments. All of this stuff was like perfect for the layout, and I tried my hardest to get it all on. We all know how I love embellishing, but sometimes there is just a point where it's too much and you've got to pare it back. So that's what I eventually end up doing. But to kind of emphasize the messiness and the paint on her face, here I am crossing my fingers, I'm using some Liquitex acrylic ink, and this is black, and I'm just dropping it and splattering it from a very high height onto the page just to get some splatters. And I knew that the black would kind of really stand out off the page, so that's why I've chosen black. And of course there's a lot of black in the collection I'm using, or in the kit I should say. So just splattering that on, making a good old mess, and it's soaked into the paper really quickly, and I only had to dry a little bit of it, and it's come right. So there we go, it's all dry. Just helped it along with my heat gun, and now I'm going to start to try and work out this embellishing. I'm just thinking, so I thought about bringing it down the page a bit and then having my embellishments at the top of the page, and I quite like that idea. So I just slide it up a little bit more, and I grab my ATG gun and I'd adhere that bit of pattern paper onto the page on a bit of an angle. Okay, and then I am going to put a whole lot of foam squares behind that cut file. Oops. Now that was just a script, I think it was done in brush script, which is just a alpha a font, there we go, that comes with your Silhouette Studio. So that's all I've done. No having to buy fancy letterings or anything for this. Okay, so my cut file is stuck down and I'm going to start by placing my embellishments. Now actually when I'm looking back on the footage of this, when I have finished this, I actually don't mind it. But when I was looking at it in person, I didn't. So all the stuff gets removed. So I'm just kind of placing things where I think they might look good. Real life. I like the idea of that. It's a real life. Oops. Okay, so there we go. I skipped through. I didn't make you watch it all. And there we go. This was my first go. I didn't like it. So it's all coming back off the page. Here we go. We'll remove all of that. It was just too much. It looked too cluttered to me. But looking at it now on screen, it looked actually quite good because all of the arrows were kind of pointing to the photos. And the cluster down from that top right hand diagonal into the photo and with the title kind of looked like an arrow as well, but no, I didn't stick with that. So here I am peeling up this pattern paper, and I thought for sure I was going to rip my background paper, but I didn't. I only tore the paper that the photo was mounted on, but that's okay. No one's going to see that. So I'm going to put a bit of fun foam behind the photo. I'm going to pop it up. And I've decided I'm going to go with a bit of a central design. So vertical down the centre of the page. And I feel like that's going to be much better. So I've got to peel off this cut file as well. And move that. Put it in place. Across the centre. Now I've got foam dots underneath those top sections. So I need to peel them off because I don't need more dimension on top of dimension. I'm just taking the time to take them off. And then I'll put it back down flat. Got another couple on that O. So yes, this is what happens when you leave the kids with your husband. They're always the best babysitters, aren't they? Always get into trouble. And don't watch them like a hawk like we tend to do. But never mind. It's done now, and it came off pretty easy, surprisingly. It's supposed to be kind of a semi-permanent paint. I suppose it's designed to wear off after a while because it's for tail paint, but yeah. Okay, so there I am. This is my second round of embellishing, and I kind of like that, and I started to glue things down. I glued down that Wild Child ephemera and the other piece. I put a staple in it just to make it look like it was stapled to the photo. And then I think I walked away and we had lunch. I made Eddie lunch. And then I've come back and I decided I didn't like it. I like the idea of the arrows on the sides pointing into the photos. That really appealed to me. But all the other circular elements, well, I wanted to get them on the page. It just looked like a bit of a jumbled mess and too much going on. So here I am. I'm focusing on those arrows on the side. So I've got 3 either side. So that's a nice even element on the page, and now I'm going to work at getting some of them, but not all of those other elements back onto the page. So I'm putting back some of the circular pieces that I really like. I felt like it needed more breathing space. It was very cluttered and heavy, and yeah, I had to took a bit of convincing for myself to let go of some of the embellishments and not put them all on the page. Okay, so just working at placing them. That circular piece wouldn't fit under that cut file because there was a bit of foam, so I've just removed that. And I'm going to put a couple of words down the bottom. Chipboard words, a circular piece I wanted to get on because that's probably my reaction when I saw her. So that gets put up there. This piece gets put down the bottom. There we go. And another one that says bummer down the bottom as well. Okay, I'm liking that a lot better now. There we go. That's my central element, and then I've just got a few arrows off to the side. Right, so I'm liking how it's all looking, so I'm going to start to glue everything down. I've done my date stamp just quickly on that little one of the exclusive die cut pieces, and just tuck that behind the photo. And I'm just taking another couple of labels and putting them behind those chipboard words down the bottom just to kind of add a bit of colour down there. And now I will finish gluing everything down. I'm just going to glue that cut file flat to the pattern paper and the photos. And I will glue that puffy sticker down. I'll just continue gluing. I've popped the words real life and that second ops, the ephemera pieces, up on some foam squares. And the only other piece that I prop up on foam is the black arrow on the right hand side that says just no, just to give a bit of dimension over on that side. And the do your thing speech bubble down the bottom was propped up under foam. But everything else was just glued down flat. Okay, so I'm just going through these little word stickers. I thought I'd add a bit more, a few little words. So I've got wow, and then I put up the top hey, just in that little yellow empty spot. There we go. So hey, real life. Oops. Rightio. So I'm going to use up these acrylic stars. They're so cute and they're bright and they're pretty, so they're going to add some more little pops of colour in amongst those empty spots down that vertical section of the page. So I'm just going to scatter them around the place. I did think about putting some to the side, but they get moved. I didn't want to muddy up that side piece. I just wanted those arrows to be on their own. And one on that circular piece, and another one down the bottom. And I like that. So I'm going to glue them all down. And I'm just using Scotch tacky glue in my little fine line bottle, and that works just fine on acrylic pieces. Holds them down great. A few little enamel dots scattered around the pages. I'll add more little pops of colour, and then after that I will just trim off that puffy sticker at the top that's overlapping, and that'll be pretty much it for my layout. So I hope you enjoyed the process. Don't forget, Kitaholic Kits have a Facebook page. I'll leave a link down the bottom, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye.